Behind every luxury brand, there is a story. But behind Louis Vuitton, there is a miracle. The journey of a starving child who turned pain into power and a dream into the greatest empire of fashion. What if I told you that the world's most powerful luxury brand was built not by a wealthy businessman, not by a nobleman, but by a starving boy who once slept on the streets with nothing but a dream? This is not just a story about fashion. It's a story of hunger, pain, struggle, and the unstoppable spirit of a child who refused to give up. A boy who lost his mother at just 10 years old. A boy whose father was too broken to care for him. A boy who walked over 470 kilometers to Paris, alone, with no money, no food, and no shelter. That boy's name was Louis Vuitton, the same name that today shines on handbags worth thousands of dollars, on luggage carried by billionaires, celebrities, and royalty. But how did this poor, homeless child turn into the founder of a billion-dollar empire? How did a starving boy transform suffering into style and struggle into success? The answer lies in a journey that began in 1821 in a small French village where Louis was born into poverty. His father was a humble carpenter, his mother a hat maker. They worked endlessly, but their earnings could barely buy bread. Louis grew up in a tiny wooden home with a leaking roof and icy floors. Winters were cruel, and so was fate. By age 13, tragedy forced him to leave everything behind. With nothing but courage, he stepped onto the long road to Paris. For 2 years, he battled storms, hunger, and exhaustion until he finally arrived in the city of dreams. But Paris was no paradise. It was harsher than the countryside, and Louis found himself sleeping inside abandoned carts and begging for scraps of food. Yet he refused to surrender. One day, by sheer chance, he helped a man carry a heavy trunk into a workshop. That small act of kindness opened the door to his destiny. Inside that workshop, Louis learned the art of trunk making. Day after day, night after night, he practiced until his hands were those of a master craftsman. Years later, his skill caught the attention of none other than Empress Eugenie, wife of Napoleon III. She challenged Louis to create a trunk unlike anything the world had ever seen. And he did. He designed the first flat-topped, waterproof canvas trunk, a revolutionary idea that changed travel forever. That single invention made his name echo through the halls of royalty. Soon, everyone wanted a Vuitton trunk. And with that, a legend was born. But Louis's journey didn't stop there. Wars, economic collapse, counterfeits, and even betrayal tried to destroy his dream. Yet his brand survived, expanded, and transformed into the giant we know today, Louis Vuitton. From sleeping hungry under trees to building a legacy worth over $500 billion, Louis Vuitton's story proves one thing. You don't need money to start. You don't need comfort to succeed. You only need an unshakable. Louis Vuitton's story teaches us one thing. Greatness is born from struggle. But do you know, many other billion-dollar empires began with nothing too? Stay tuned, because in the next story, we'll uncover another journey that will inspire you.